tikulandireninso chigawo chino chamasana pompano pa Parliament Broadcasting pomwe tikupitiliza kupatsanizo kambirana za aphungu kuno ku nyumba ya malamulo. Kummawaku nyumba ya malamulo yavomereza mabilu awiri okhudza ndalama amene ndi bill number 9 ya 2026 komanso bill number 10 ya 2026. Mchigawo chamasana ano tikuyembekeza kuti nyumbayi ipitiliza kukambirana mabilu tikhale limodzi. Welcome back to our afternoon live coverage of the third meeting of Parliament in the 52nd session, the 2026 ordinary meeting of Parliament. Earlier in the morning, the House passed two monetary bills. These are Bill number 9 of 2026, a banking amendment, as well as Bill number 10 of 2026, financial services amendment. The House is this afternoon expected to continue considering bills. My name is Rachel Gonani. You stay tuned for the afternoon session.
The chair is so motivated by the excitement of the Honorable House, but whatever you were sharing, the chair hasn't received it for that excitement. Please extend the excitement to the office of the chair so we can also enjoy what you are enjoying. Welcome back from lunch. Honorable Member for Mulanje West, good to see you. Good to see you. You send our greetings to the people from Kando and all the other areas. Honorable Member for Lilongwe Area 23, good to see you. There are clips that are saying now Kanengo is going to have an immigration office or a border. I hope your area will not be affected by that, so you don't bring dust in the city. I think we are trying to love those jokes, but I hope he's not going to mention your area. And you are safe for now. You're safe for now. Good to see you, Plantain North. Good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. Zomba City North, good to see you, backbencher leader. Good to see you. Good to see you. Cholo Goliath, good to see you. Leader, should we just proceed the way where we stopped? Okay, table.
Item 3, Government Business, Bills, First Reading, Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment.
There is a point of order before I request the Honourable Minister to start the processes of this bill. Honourable Member for Rumpi East, what has gone out of order? Good to see you, Honourable Member for Rumpi East. What has gone out of order?
Good afternoon, Honorable First Deputy Speaker. Good to see you too. I'm rising on concern under Standing Order number 14, and my appeal is specifically to the Minister of Homeland Security. I write to respectfully commend the Malawi Police Service officers who recently intercepted a significant amount of 1,445,736 US dollars during a search operation at Chiweta Roadblock on 1st July 2026. Their professionalism, vigilance, and commitment to protecting the nation's financial and security interests deserve recognition. I kindly appeal to your office to consider promoting or otherwise rewarding the officers in accordance with the Malawi Police Services regulations and established procedures. Recognizing their performance boosts morale, encourages integrity, and inspires duties with dedication and courage. Acts of excellence within the police service should not go unnoticed. And you know, Chiweta Roadblock is very far from here, Lilongwe. But those police officers, they are very patriotic and they love their nation. Rewarding officers who demonstrate exceptional commitment sends a strong message that work, honesty, and patriotism are valued by the government of Malawi.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Members, you know this is a political house. We get to be voted to come here. The people that vote for us reside in our constituencies. The Honourable Member is appealing to the ministry and the minister to consider those officers in her constituency. The chair did not see anything wrong with that because the Honourable Member knows there will be another election in 2030 and she is contesting. She has assured me already. Honourable Member, you are safe. You've communicated to government and government has listened. Your officers will now be saluting you even before you arrive at the roadblock. You are safe, Honourable Member. Thank you very much. My government has taken note of that. Honourable Minister, the bill has satisfied the 7-day notice, and you have made communication to the office of the Right Honourable Speaker, but it did not satisfy the 28-day notice. Can I recognize you for the waiver? Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Minister? Honourable Minister of Finance?
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Communicate with the Speaker, and I also want to beg to move that all the relevant standing orders be waived to allow me to present Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment Bill 2026, because it has certified the 7 days minimum number of days, but not the 28. So I therefore want to beg that all the relevant stakeholders, standing orders be waived to allow me to present this bill because of its importance and urgency. I beg to move.
Honourable members, we have a motion. The motion is to allow the 28-day notice being waived for the Honourable Minister to present the bill today. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Honourable Minister. Honourable Minister, second reading when?
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, today and now.
Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is to ask this House to allow Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment, to be taken today and now. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried.
Item 3, Government Business, Bills, second reading, Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment.
Honourable Minister, for the second reading speech, please you can proceed to the dispatch box.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the Securities Amendment Bill 2026 be read for the second time. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this bill amends the Securities Act, Chapter 46, Section 06 of the laws of Malawi, to provide for the administration of unclaimed money held by persons licensed to conduct business under the Act in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act 2022. The bill is part of the wider package of amendments government is bringing before this House to harmonize the treatment of unclaimed monies across all the financial services legislation. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the Securities Act currently makes no provision for how unclaimed money held by the licensed persons in the securities market should be treated. This bill, therefore, fills that gap by bringing such funds under the Public Finance Management Act 2022, ensuring the securities market is governed by the same standard and unified legislation across the rest of the financial sector. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill under Section 2 amends Section 66 of the Securities Act by inserting the new Section 66A that requires a person licensed to conduct business under the Act to administer any unclaimed money held by it in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act 2022. This section adopts the definition of unclaimed money as assigned under the Public Finance Management Act. In terms of impact, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this bill closes the gap in the Securities Act by ensuring that all unclaimed monies in the securities market, like all unclaimed money funds in the financial sector, are administered as provided for in the Public Finance Management Act. Together with these companion bills, it advances a uniform, transparent, and accountable framework for unclaimed money across the financial sector. In conclusion, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this bill brings the securities market in line with the uniform standard this House is applying to all unclaimed monies across the financial sector. This will ensure that no part of the sector remains outside a clear and accountable framework. I therefore beg Mr. First Deputy Speaker that honourable members of this House should support the bill. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister of Finance. Honourable members, now pursue to section 128.5 of our standing orders. After the presentation by the Honourable Minister, we recognize spokespersons from political party. I therefore recognize the Honourable Member for Lilongwe Pilanjuzi, representing the Malawi Congress Party. Honourable Member, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Deputy Speaker. Good afternoon.
Afternoon and good to see you, sir.
You are a good man, Mr. First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for switching on the mic for us to respond to the bill before us. And the gratitude expressed to the leadership earlier on still stands. And through you, I want to sincerely thank the Honourable Minister of Finance for presenting this bill eloquently. This is yet another bill in the series of bills being presented in this House that will form a new legal framework for treatment or management of unclaimed funds. And this time around, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, we are looking at amending the Securities Act. I thought that the Honourable Minister in his memorandum would be able to demystify securities because as we discuss this bill, some people out there would think that this bill is to do with security guards like the G4S and the others. But First Deputy Speaker, this Securities Act that we're amending is not talking about the security guards. It's actually talking about companies or financial institutions that are governed by Securities Act, and we're talking of such institutions as stockbrokers, those that facilitate the selling and disposal of stocks. We are talking of even those that manage the stock market, like Malawi Stock Exchange. We are talking of the dealers, those that are into money market. We are talking of those that manage the mutual funds or unit trusts, like Old Mutual, Nico Life, and a number of companies or institutions that are into management of financial investments. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, there is not much that we want to say on this bill because it's a consequential amendment, just as we've already amended the Financial Services Act and the other acts that are coming. We want to fully support this bill as a party. As we mentioned already, this is how the unclaimed funds should be treated in compliance to the Public Finance Management Act. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, imagine that somebody is probably having a policy with, say, Nico Life or Old Mutual. You'd have maybe for 3 months, for 3 years, or 5 years. After that period lapses, probably you're already gone back to the soil where you came from, or maybe you've traveled to a faraway country. And then when this investment matures, you are nowhere to be seen. And the Public Finance Management Act actually stipulates that after 6 years, when these funds become payable and you cannot be traced, not even your next of kin is traced, these funds must be credited to the public, to account number 1, or consolidated fund. I think it makes a lot of sense. But I think it calls on all of us as a society that we must avoid making secret investments. Let our next of kin know what we are doing with our resources. Let our spouses know that we have an investment with Old Mutual. Let our parents, our children know that you have a policy with Nico Life, so that when you die, your monies should not become unclaimed funds. They should be able to trace you. They should be able to trace the next of kin. It's not on. When you make savings, it's sacrificial. And then when the funds become payable, you are nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be traced. And then no one benefits from your investments. This is not all right. Our investments must be disclosed to those that are close to us. Otherwise, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, we have already mentioned, and the Honorable Minister of Finance has already addressed what we earlier on said, that when it comes to reclaiming these funds from account number 1 from government, we still need those guidelines, we still need the regulations, so that the process is not impeded by government bureaucracy, because it's possible that after you travel to a foreign country, you come back and you realize that your funds were credited to account number 1, and you go back to government to claim. And after the ST is satisfied that you are indeed the real owner of those funds, there's a process of giving you back. But that process must really be something that does not disadvantage those coming to reclaim these funds. Otherwise, with those few remarks and without further ado, we fully support this very important bill, just as we have already supported other bills in this family. Thank you so much, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, honourable members. That was the spokesperson from the Malawi Congress Party. As you are aware, that the spokespersons from political parties come from parties that have exceeded 10 honourable members represented in the House. And I've used my discretion in the morning to recognize the spokespersons from other political parties. I will continue as such. I see the honourable member for Mulanje West. For you, you have the floor, madam. Just to remind you, your party only is short for 1. So if you hear of the next by-elections, please go and camp there to get this 1 and come here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker Amalume, for giving me the floor to comment on this bill. Let me assure you, the Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, that I stand to support this bill. And before I comment on this bill, allow me to digress a little bit by thanking the Minister of Local Government in absentia for promoting Senior T.A. Juma to Senior Chief Juma. I've been sent by the people of Mulanje West to say thank you so much. And through him, we would like to thank the government for recognizing some chiefs from Mulanje district in those positions. And they also allow me to thank the Minister of Transport and the Vice President South, who is the Minister of Finance, and also the Minister of Homeland, who is also Secretary General of the ruling party, to thank them for thinking about the Mulomba, in Kando Mulomba Road, that when road authority is going to put some of the work, but they are going to finish with a tarmac. It's a thing which cannot go without patting them at the back, and thanking government for thinking about the people of Mulanje, and also those of Palombe, and I'm sure all of us we are here. So we thank government, we thank the president, we thank the ministers for thinking about the people of Mulanje West. Having said that, the first Deputy Speaker, the Right Honorable, I would like to comment on this bill, and I would like to support this bill. The security market plays a critical role in mobilizing savings, promoting investment, and also strengthening our financial system. And any effort aimed at improving transparency, accountability, and proper management of investors' funds must therefore be welcomed. The Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, this bill addresses an important gap in our current legal framework. We have had a situation where money belonging to citizens remain unclaimed for long periods, sometimes because of death, sometimes because of change of address of the investors, or lack of awareness or administrative failure. Such funds cannot be left in the hands of institutions indefinitely without claim or clear rules or without clear rules of accountability. And that's why the Minister of Finance is coming in to say we need to have rules and we need to have also this amendment, which must also which is also ensuring our desire to harmonize. Harmonization does not even create a situation where citizens lose track of their rightful property. So if the unclaimed money is going to stay for a long time, I might propose to the Minister of Finance, though I heard from, is it bill number 9 or number 10, that money is not tampered, but I was thinking of saying, because when you are registering an account, or when we are registering an account in the banks, they're saying, who is the next kin, as to what Honorable Philanthropist has said, the next of kin that's supposed to be called if the money is dormant, because we've seen the system reminding the investors to say your account is dormant if there is no money or you're not active. But if there's a lot of money in that account and it is not being tampered, it has been there and claimed for a long time, let these institutions also put a system where they're going to be reminding investors to say there's something here. If not, they've got to call these next of kin to say, I don't know whether the owner of this account is alive or dead, but there's a lot of money which is not even tampered. Yes, indeed, we might even tell our partners, but with today's life, you never know. People, they can even use some bank cards to withdraw money, or they can connive or whatever. So you cannot even trust. You cannot even trust. That's why we don't even read the dreams of our partners when you are sleeping. That's the secret which God has created between two of us, so that you cannot read what this partner is dreaming about. Wow, you might also dream somebody while you are there. So for people to come and say, this is my account, or I'm having savings with this person, I don't know, but what I'm advising...
Honorable spokesperson, you're speaking in parables. The chair
but what I would like to propose to the Minister of Finance, the institution, they've got to be reminding the investors, if there is money which is unclaimed, to say, even calling the next of kin to say, we just want to find out whether the owner of the account is alive or not. Because if we heard about, we've seen some of these cases where institutions are keeping money, they're failing to trace the owner of the money. A lot of money, they are in the banks without tracing the owners. But if they can call the next of kin, maybe the better. But also, we are proposing to the Minister of Finance, if the government, who is going to be the custodian of this, if they can also, we've seen during the Pope's Day, people moving around, looking for money, to say, would you please donate some for the Pope's Day? Why can't we unclaim the money, have an account or have an institution where it's supposed to be kept there, and the funds should add up to the Pope's Day, or the funds should be adding up to whatever these retired soldiers are getting, that they can be getting something else. But also we've seen that there's a student loan, and some of them, they've failed to apply online, the student loan. We can also have a delivery policy of this unclaimed money to those social services, to those who are really vulnerable, but they're failing to pay their school fees who are in the universities. We can also add up to that, the unclaimed money. So these are the proposals which I'm proposing to the Minister of Finance, that they've got to look into it, as we are also having public awareness and the tracing of these beneficiaries, but also the mere transfer of unclaimed money into the government management framework does not even solve the problem. The real question is, how do we ensure that the rightful owners or their beneficiaries eventually receive the monies? And this is the way why we are saying we are giving the power to the Minister of Finance and Government to do everything possible. The awareness, even having the money into the social services to support the vulnerable people, the orphans, and even those who are failing to pay their school fees, even the retired soldiers, whereby during Pope's Day they come and ask for money for the functions. That would also help if you can take this unclaimed money into that. The last thing which we can ask the Minister of Finance, maybe is to look into the Security and Exchange Commission, licensed institutions, and also the Accountant General's Office, where they can maybe work together to create a public database where citizens can verify whether they have unclaimed funds. And also, the Constitution of the Republic of Malawi protects the rights of property. Money reinvested by the citizens remain the property as well, remain the Constitution's property, even when it has become dormant or unclaimed. Therefore, this amendment must not be intercepted as interpreted as we are giving just money and restricted money to government. But we are looking forward to say that government should have the ownership, but also should act as the custodian of this amount, whereby they had to administer until the rightful owner of the unclaimed money, which we are talking about, is they are identified. And this, having said this, the Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, Malume, Kinyama Village, I support this bill in totality on behalf of the people of Mulanje West and the Senior Chief Juma, who've been newly promoted by the Minister of Local Government. May I part the Minister of Local Government at his back, our Vice President from Southern Region, as well as the Minister of Transport, for the job well done. Thanks so much, the Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable members. The same Standing Order 128(5) allows us to recognize the chairperson if they have brought a report, and indeed we have received a report from the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and the Budget. So I recognize the chairperson for the Budget Committee to take us through. Thank you. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker. I beg to move that this House do adopt the report of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget on Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, pursuant to the standing orders, this bill was referred to the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal and Budget for consideration and scrutiny. And in carrying out this mandate, the committee engaged the Honorable Minister of Finance, together with officials from the Reserve Bank, to appreciate both the policy and legal rationale behind the proposed amendments. And Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, the bill before this House is essentially a harmonization bill. It seeks to align the Securities Act of 2010 with the Public Finance Management Act of 2022 by establishing a common legal framework for the administration of unclaimed dividends and other securities-related monies. The committee was satisfied that the bill neither introduces a new policy nor alters the ownership of such monies. Rather, it provides a uniform administrative framework under which government assumes custody of unclaimed monies until they have been lawfully claimed by the rightful owners. The committee carefully examined the proposed amendments and found them to be both necessary and appropriate. We were satisfied that they promote consistency across financial sector legislation, strengthen transparency and accountability in the management of unclaimed monies, and provide greater legal certainty for both investors and market participants. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, during our deliberations, members sought assurance that the proposed amendments would not prejudice the rights of lawful beneficiaries. And the committee welcomed the clarification that the transfer of unclaimed monies to government does not extinguish ownership rights. And government merely assumes a custodial role, while beneficiaries retain the right to recover their own monies through procedures prescribed under the Public Finance Management Act. The committee nonetheless observed that the success of this reform would depend on the timely operationalization of the Public Finance Management Act through supporting regulations. We therefore recommend the Minister to expedite the development of those regulations. It has been 4 years since the Public Finance Management was passed in this House, And together with the RBM, the ministry must undertake sustained public awareness to ensure that investors understand both the new framework and the procedures for reclaiming the unclaimed monies. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, having carefully scrutinized the bill, the committee is satisfied that the proposed amendments constitute a measured and necessary reform that strengthens governance of Malawi's capital markets while safeguarding the rights of investors. The committee therefore respectively recommends to this Honorable August House to adopt the committee's report and pass Bill number 11 of 2026, the Securities Amendment Bill, without amendment. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you, Chair. For honorable members, the chairperson was representing two committees of this House. Can I recognize a seconder to the honorable member from Chinji West? You have the floor, madam.
Thank you, First Deputy Speaker. I rise to second the motion that this House adopts the report of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget on Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendments. The chairperson has adequately outlined both the purpose of the bill and the committee's findings. I therefore wish only to underscore the committees was satisfied that the proposed amendments are intended to harmonize the Securities Act with the Public Finance Management Act 2022, thereby providing the consistent legal framework for the administration and unclaimed dividends and other securities related monies. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the committee further satisfied itself that the bill does not deprive investors of their proprietary rights. Rather, it establishes government as the custodian of the unclaimed monies, pending recovery of the rightful owner through the procedures prescribed by the law. The committee found that the amendments are necessary, prudent, and beneficial to the continued integrity and transparency and accountability of the Malawi capital market. Therefore, First Deputy Speaker, the committee unanimously recommends that the House passes the bill without any amendment. I beg to move. Thank you, First Deputy Speaker.
Beg to second. Honorable members, you have shown us how to second a motion. The chair took 3 minutes and you only took 1 minute. That's secondment. Because you cannot be speaking 10 minutes when the chair only spoke for 3 minutes. Thank you very much. Honorable members, anyone in the committee who wants to add a word? Leader for curtailment.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I beg to move that debate on the report be curtailed in order for the chairperson of the committee to wind up. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Leader. Honorable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is for the curtailment of the committee's report for the chair to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Chairperson, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker. Silence is golden, and it can't be more golden than it has been on the Securities Amendment Bill. I therefore want to thank each and everyone for really agreeing with the committee or the committees. I therefore beg to move that Bill number 11 of 2026, the Securities Amendment Bill, be adopted, the report be adopted by the whole House. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, honourable members. We have a motion On the floor, the motion from the chairperson of the Joint Parliamentary Committees of Legal Affairs and the Budget is requesting this House to adopt the report by the committee. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The committee report has been adopted. We now take the honorable member for Karonga Central for debate on the bill. Karonga Central, you have the floor, sir.
Good afternoon, First Deputy Speaker, sir. The gadget here, I think, inadvertently switched on itself. My apologies. Thank you.
But it's good to see you on the floor and good to see you in the House. And I would like to declare interest that you are one of my political mentors, so please continue to be the way you have been. Thank you very much. Leader?
First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the debate on the bill be curtailed in order to allow the Minister of Finance to wind up debate. I beg to move.
Leader, thank you very much. Honourable members, the House has been requested in a motion by the leader that we curtail debate on Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendments, in order to allow the minister to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Honourable members, I will retake the question. Honourable members, just to make an announcement, we have 3 bills to take today. Remember, this is an extended 1 week of our sitting, and today we have 3 bills to tackle this afternoon. So if this is the level of eyes and nose that we'll be making, then this might be the last bill, because you need also to motivate me. You are more there, we are 4 of us this side. So we need motivation from you. Those of that opinion say aye. Yeah. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Honourable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Allow me to thank all the spokespersons that have spoken on supporting this bill, Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment. All the spokespersons have supported this bill, starting from Malawi Congress Party spokesperson, the UTM spokesperson, the chairperson, as well as the seconder of the report of the chairpersons, and also it has been supported by, for the look of all the entire August House, because as the chair said, silence is golden, meaning that the House has supported this bill. From the chairperson, I think this is Pilanjo's mentioned the word securities. In this case, it doesn't refer to the police, the army, or prisons. It refers to instruments. A security, in this case, securities, refers to instruments that are traded, as the spokesperson said, in the money market, in the stock exchange, and also brokerage firms, or the brokers. And these instruments are mainly treasury bills, treasury notes, bonds, or shares. In financial terms, we call them securities. So I'm glad that, Chair, you explained this, because it will be misunderstood that we are talking about security as in security. by the police or the army. Thank you very much for that. And the institutions that normally trade these instruments are discount houses, as I've said, stock exchange, brokerage, and asset management companies. The UTM spokesperson also supports this bill because it improves transparency and accountability, and it brings in uniformity. And the spokesperson also requested that the financial institutions or the security institutions should always call the next of kin, so that this money, at least they can get the money. But my understanding of unclaimed money, it means that even the next of kin is not available. It can't be traced. Either maybe even the next of kin maybe died before even the owner of either of the instrument or indeed an investment. I think that's the meaning of this unclaimed, meaning there is no bona fide owner of either a deposit or the securities or shares of anything. I think that's what it is referred to as unclaimed. I think the chairperson also supports the bill, and he also emphasized that there should not be prejudice to the rights of the owner of the funds. At least at any point in time, if it's known, he should be able to access the funds. And also he mentioned that the success of this bill and the other bills that will come depends on the operationalization of the public finance management guidelines or regulations, which I entirely agree. And I want to assure you, Honorable Chair, that these guidelines will be done as soon as possible, and we will consult the August House, more especially the Public Finance Management and the Budget and Finance, the Legal Affairs Committee, once this has been done, like many other regulations that we are supposed to produce. The honorable member from Mchinji West, also who seconded the chair, also underscored the fact that this bill harmonizes the Securities Bill and the Public Financial Management Act with regard to unclaimed money. So, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the August House supports this bill, and therefore, I want to beg to move that this bill be read for a second time. I beg to move.
Thank you. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion as put by the Honourable Minister of Finance was to ask that Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment, be read a second time. Those of that opinion, say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried.
Item 3B, government business, bills, committee stage, bill number 11 of 2026, securities amendment.
Thank you very much, honour members. Now the bill is at committee stage. I recognize the Honourable Chairperson for the Natural Resources Committee to chair the committee stage. Honourable Chair, please proceed to chair the committee. Thank you.
Honorable members, welcome to the committee stage of Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment Bill. I wish to inform you that so far, the chair has not received any notice of proposed amendments on this bill. If no one wishes to speak, I now put a question. The question is that clause 1 to 2 stand part of the bill. Those of the opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Honorable members, this marks the end of the committee stage of Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment. Thank you for your active participation. Thank you.
Item 3B, government business, bills, report stage, bill number 11 of 2026, securities amendment.
Thank you. I now call upon the Honourable Minister to report.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to report that Bill number 11 of 2026 passed through committee stage without any amendments. I therefore beg to move that it be read for a third time.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is that Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment, be read for a third time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Item 3B, government business, bills, third reading, bill number 11 of 2026, securities amendment.
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment, be read for a third time and passed.
Honourable members, I now put a question. The question is that Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment, be read a third time and pass. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried, and the bill has passed.
Item 3B, government business, bills, first reading, bill number 12 of 2026, microfinance amendment.
Honourable members, we now move to bill number 12. So I also request the spokespersons to be ready from the opposition political parties. But Honourable Minister, as you're aware, that this bill has not satisfied the 28-day notice, although it has satisfied the 7-day rule, and that the Speaker has been noticed and he has approved. But we need a motion, a waiver from you, Honourable Minister. I therefore recognize you for the waiver. Thank you. Minister?
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that all the relevant standing orders be waived to allow me to present Bill number 12 of 2026, Microfinance Amendment. This bill, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, has met the 7-day minimum number of days, but it has not met the 28 days requirement. I therefore beg to move that the standing order be waived to allow me to present this very important bill, the bill that brings uniformity, that brings transparency and accountability with regard to unclaimed money. So I beg to move, Mr. First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, honour members. There's a motion on the floor. The motion is from the Honourable Minister of Finance requesting this House to waive the 28-day notice for him to present the bill number 12 of 2026, Microfinance Amendment. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honour Minister, for second reading when, Honour Minister?
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, today and now.
Honour members, we take another motion. The motion is to allow that Bill number 12 of 2026, Microfinance Amendment, to be taken today and now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
Item 3B, Government Business, Bills, second reading, Bill number 12 of 2026, Microfinance Amendment.
Thank you. I therefore recognize the Honourable Minister of Finance for the second reading speech. Thank you. Where's the House when the Honourable Minister is going to the dispatch box? Thank you.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the Microfinance Amendment Bill 2026 be now read for the second time. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this bill seeks to amend the Microfinance Act, Chapter 46, Section 8 of the laws of Malawi to provide for the administration of unclaimed money held by microfinance institutions. You will note, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, that this bill is also part of the wider package of amendments aimed at bringing consistency and uniformity to how unclaimed monies are administered across the Malawi financial sector. In terms of rationale, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the Microfinance Act currently makes no provision for how unclaimed money held by microfinance institutions should be treated. Such a gap, therefore, creates room for misinterpretation on how unclaimed money from the microfinance institutions or sector should be treated. This bill fills that gap by bringing such funds under the Public Finance Management Act 2022, and hence ensuring that microfinance sector is governed by the same standards being applied across the rest of the financial sector. In terms of content, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill in Section 2 amends Section 52 of the Microfinance Act by inserting a new Section 52A that requires a microfinance institution to administer any unclaimed money held by it in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act 2022 and adopting the definition of unclaimed money as assigned under the Public Finance Management Act. With regard to impact, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill closes a gap in the Microfinance Act ensuring that all unclaimed funds held by microfinance institutions, like all unclaimed monies in the financial sector, are administered in a uniform, consistent, and transparent manner. In conclusion, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this bill brings the microfinance sector in line with the uniform standard that this House wants to apply to all unclaimed monies across the financial sector and ensuring that no part of that sector remains outside the framework. I therefore urge honourable members of the August House to support the bill. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I beg to move.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. Honourable members, using Standing Order 128, 5 and below, we now recognize spokesperson from political parties in the opposition. The first is Malawi Congress Party, and I recognize honourable member for Lilongwe Piriranjuzi. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, for the floor. To speak on behalf of the Malawi Congress Party in response to the bill ably presented by the Honourable Minister of Finance. The Microfinance Amendment Bill of 2026, which is yet another consequential amendment bill, and therefore won't spend much time because it's part of the family of bills being presented in this House so that we harmonize the way unclaimed funds are treated or managed in accordance to the Public Finance Management Act of 2022, specifically thanks, Honourable Deputy Speaker. I was saying that this bill before us is part of the bills that we're amending in this House so that we harmonize the treatment of unclaimed funds, unclaimed money, in accordance to the Public Finance Management Act of 2022, specifically sections 60 to 69, that clearly stipulate how these funds should be claimed back, what constitutes unclaimed funds, and even the period of time that must elapse before the funds are deemed unclaimed. So once again, just as the party has done with the other bills that have passed before, we want to render our full support to this very, very important bill. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, microfinance institutions are generally classified into two. We have deposit-taking microfinance institutions and non-deposit-taking microfinance institutions. So there are times really that these institutions would have customers or clients, that deposited funds with them, and these accounts remain dormant for a long, long, long time, and then the owners eventually are not found, are not traced. Those are the accounts, those are the funds that will really be deemed unclaimed funds according to the Public Finance Management Act. And it's only fair, it's only proper that these unclaimed funds are credited to account number 1, to the consolidated fund, so that government should have liquidity to be able to provide social services to the public. There's bantam, moving around. And I think, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, you referred to it earlier on when I was speaking to my neighbor here, that the people of Area 25 must probably have their own country. We should have an immigration somewhere there around Kanengo and demand to get passports from them. The reason is that the project which Dr. Jaguar's administration started, the construction of the road from ABC 4925, has really stalled, but it's about cash flow challenges. And these are the funds, Deputy Speaker, that could be used for such developments. In fact, 2 weeks ago, if you saw in the papers, one of the day papers, there was an article that National Bank is keeping about 100 billion $100 billion US, I mean Malawi kwacha, of unclaimed funds. And they don't know what to do with it because, you know, the current legal framework really does not provide clarity in terms of how these funds should be treated. And so that's why this bill is very, very important. With those few remarks, Honorable Deputy Speaker, we fully support this bill. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I now recognize the honourable member for Chitipa Chendo to speak on behalf, under my discretion, on behalf of the UTM. Thank you.
Thank you very much once again for your gracious act of allowing UTM to give an input on this bill. First Deputy, Mr. Speaker, sir, according to Standing Order number 155, we as UTM fell short of one honorable member, as you rightly said, for us to qualify to comment on as a party in this House. So we don't take your act for granted. Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, I rise on behalf of the entire UTM family to give an input on the proposal to amend the Microfinance Act in order to provide for the administration of unclaimed funds held by microfinance institutions in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act 2022. As a country, we can talk of transparency, accountability, and uniformity consistent with management of unclaimed funds within the microfinance sector if we fail to amend this act. First Deputy, Mr. Speaker, sir, silence on how unclaimed funds held by microfinance institutions has created a big gap that needs to be filled urgently, and that this has to be done now, today and now. These funds can't continue to be handled by the registrar, but instead they need to go to the rightful account, which is account number 1. Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, we as UTM fully support the amendment of Microfinance Act that seeks to provide for the administration of the unclaimed fund held by microfinance institutions in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act 2022. I submit.
Thank you. Honourable members, the same standing order acknowledges the chairperson if they have brought a report. So we have received a report from the Committee on Budget and Legal Affairs. I therefore would like to recognize the chairperson of the Budget and Finance Committee of this House to present the report. You have the floor, Honourable Member for Lilongwe Msonzi South.
Actually, Lilongwe Msozi only. There's now only one Msozi. We used to have South and North. We now just have one Lilongwe Msozi.
Acknowledged, Honourable Chairperson.
Thank you,
have
right,
the floor, sir.
Thank you, Right Honourable Deputy Speaker. Thank you so much, Right Honourable Deputy Speaker, for giving me the floor. And on behalf of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget, I would like to move that this House adopts the report of the Committee on Bill number 12 of 2026, the Microfinance Amendment. Right Honourable Deputy Speaker, although this bill appears to address a highly technical issue, the committee found that it raises matters of fundamental importance to financial governance. At its core, the bill seeks to promote accountability, strengthen regulatory consistency, and reinforce public confidence in our management of funds held by microfinance institutions. And this bill proposes to amend the Microfinance Act of 2010 by introducing a statutory framework for the administration of unclaimed monies held by licensed microfinance institutions, and specifically, it requires such funds to be administered in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act of 2022, thereby ensuring a uniform, transparent, and accountable approach to the management of such monies. Right Honourable Deputy Speaker, sir, The contribution of microfinance institutions to Malawi's economy cannot be overstated. They provide essential financial services to millions of Malawians, particularly low-income households, small-scale entrepreneurs, farmers, and traders who often have limited access to conventional banking services. Their continued success depends largely upon the confidence the customers place in them. It is therefore imperative that the legal framework governing the management of customers' funds is clear, transparent, and capable of inspiring public trust. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, during the scrutiny of this bill, your committee carefully examined the existing provisions of the Microfinance Act of 2010, and the committee established that unlike several financial sector laws, the Act contains no express provisions governing the treatment of unclaimed monies held by licensed microfinance institutions. This omission has created uncertainty regarding how such funds should be managed, supervised, and eventually reclaimed by their rightful owners. It is this legislative gap that the bill seeks to close. And by introducing a new section, Section 52A, into the Act, the proposed amendment requires every licensed microfinance institution to administer unclaimed monies in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, while this amendment consists of only a single substantive provision, its significance extends far beyond its simplicity. For the first time, it establishes a clear legal obligation governing the administration of unclaimed monies in the microfinance sector. And in doing so, it harmonizes the Microfinance Act with the Public Finance Management Act. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, the recommendations that the committee made are more or less the same, to do with issues of public awareness and some proper institutional frameworks developed, especially regulations. But allow me to highlight at least one new recommendation specific for this bill, and that is to let the Reserve Bank to require licensed microfinance institutions to establish effective systems for tracing and notifying customers before their funds are classified as unclaimed. Every reasonable effort should be made to reunite customers with their funds before any transfer is effected under the Public Finance Management Act. And this is so because, like I said earlier on, most of Malawians that patronize microfinance institutions would really be people with challenges in terms of access to information. Therefore, if the RBM as the regulator of financial services could impress upon licensed microfinance institutions to really do all they can to reunite people with their funds before they are deemed unclaimed and therefore transferred to account number 1. The Joint Committee is therefore satisfied that Bill number 12 of 2026, the Microfinance Amendment, provides an appropriate and necessary legal framework for the administration of unclaimed monies, and accordingly recommends to the whole House to adopt this report. On that basis, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that this House adopts the report of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal and the Budget. I beg to move.
Thank you, Chair. May I recognize a seconder to the chairperson's report? Honorable Member for Zomba Matia constituency. Honorable Member, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to second the motion that has been moved by the Honorable Co-Chairperson of the Budget Committee and Legal Affairs Committee. I will not take much to speak what the chair has already said, rather just add few points thereon. First, Deputy Speaker, the current Microfinance Act 2010 contains no specific provisions governing the treatment of unclaimed money, therefore creating unnecessity in the management of the funds. This uncertainty is not merely a legal or technical issue. It has practical implication for regulatory oversight, financial accountability, and public confidence in microfinance. First Deputy Speaker, allow me to emphasize the important point. Your committee observed that the success of the reforms will depend not only on the enactment of the law, but also on the effective implementation. First, Honorable Speaker, your committee also carefully considered the concerns regarding the recovery of unclaimed money. Members were of the view that while the proposed framework strengthens the financial governance, it should not create unnecessary administrative barriers for rightful owners seeking to recover their funds. Finally, first Deputy Speaker, the committee was satisfied that the proposed amendment strikes an appropriate balance between strengthening the regulatory oversight and safeguarding the right and interests of customers. With these few remarks, first Deputy Speaker, I beg to second the motion and urge this Honourable House to adopt the report of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget on Bill number 12 of 2026 Microfinance Amendment. I thank you, First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. I therefore thank you very much. Seconder, I therefore recognize Honourable Member from Zimba West, 5 minutes for debate. You have the floor, sir.
First Deputy Speaker, thank you very much for recognizing the people of Mzimba West to comment on the report by the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Budget and Legal Affairs. Not to take so much time, right, First Deputy Speaker, the people of Mzimba West are excited to hear that the government would like to move to eliminate the predatory fee erosion of the poor man's savings. Right, Honorable Speaker, there is a point in the savings journey with the microfinance institutions where your monies can earn no more. However, the administration fees is still deducted from them. And by channeling these monies into account number 1, we are actually saving the very interest of a poor man in Mperembe, a poor man in Erunyeni. I therefore, on behalf of the people of Mzimba West, fully support the bill, and I support any effort to curb the exploitative behavior of the MFIs beyond their control as described. I submit, First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Deputy Leader for curtailment of debate on the report of the committee. You have the okay. You have the floor, sir. I was confused on your sitting plan, but you have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much, Honorable First Deputy Speaker. At this juncture, let me move a motion that the House curtails debate to allow on the report to allow the I think the minister, to allow the chairperson to wind up debate. I beg to move.
Thank you, Deputy Leader. Honour members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is for the curtailment of debate on the committee's report to allow the chairperson to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Chairperson.
Thank you, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker. Just to thank Mzimba West, who also happens to be chairperson for the Trade Committee, for the sentiments that he raised, essentially just supporting the report. And having said that, allow me to beg, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, that the report on microfinance be now adopted by the whole House. I beg to move.
Thank you, Chairperson. Honour members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is to request this House that we adopt the report of the Joint Committee of the Budget and Finance and Legal Affairs of this House on Bill number 12 of 2026, Microfinance Amendment. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Honour members, we now move to the debate, the general debate of the bill. Bill number 12 of 2026, microfinance. Any takers on the floor for general debate on the bill? Deputy Leader.
Honorable First Deputy Speaker, when I look around, I get the confirmation that all of us in this House, we are in confirmation of this bill. And because of that, let me move a motion that we curtail the debate to allow the Honorable Minister of Finance wind up on this bill. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Deputy Leader. Honour members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is requesting this House from the Deputy Leader of the House for the curtailment of debate on the Bill number 12, 2026, Microfinance Amendment, to allow the Honourable Minister to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Honourable Minister, to wind up debate.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, for allowing me to wind up following the comments made by the spokesperson of Malawi Congress Party, specifically from Pilanjuzi, and also the spokesperson for UTM. We also had the comments from the honorable member from Zimbabwe West. All the spokespersons support this bill, but there were specific comments made by UTM, Chitipa Chendo, who emphasized the need that before the money is declared and claimed, or before the money is transferred to the consolidated account, there must be concerted efforts to ensure that we trace the owner or the relatives, so that this money should go to the intended beneficiaries or the relatives. Another point raised by Zimbabwe West was to say that this pieces of legislation or this amendment also takes into account the interest. It takes into account the interest of the poor man in Perembe, the poor man in Sanje, the poor man in Nchinji. So I want to agree with the honorable member. But I think there's also a point that the honorable member for Pilanjus mentioned, the need for honorable members that when you have an investment in a bank, once you have an investment in form of either shares, securities, make sure that somebody has to know. Somebody has to know. Otherwise, something happens, that money becomes unclaimed and it will go to MG account number 1. I don't think that's our intention. So let's make sure we do that. We disclose, but when disclosing, you should also know that there are attendant risks associated with that. There are also attendant risks associated with that. I just wanted to emphasize, Honorable Chair of Legal, that it is very important. I'm saying this because, as we speak now, one bank, and that's National Bank, just declared that there's 100 billion unclaimed money. Can you imagine how much money is in Standard Bank? We have 8 banks put together. This is the money that they have failed to trace the owners. So it is my humble request to the August House, and indeed to the entire nation, that when you have made an investment, make sure you disclose to your trusted wife or friends or children. It's very, very important, honorable chairpersons. I thought I should mention that because it's very important. It's very, very important to do that. So with honorable or Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the entire August House supports this bill because of its implication, because it harmonizes all the treatment of unclaimed funds. With those remarks, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be read for a second time.
Thank you very much, honourable members. We have a motion on the floor. The motion is for Bill number 12 of 2026, Microfinance Amendment, to be read a second time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried.
Item 3B, government business, bills, committee stage, bill number 12 of 2026, microfinance amendment.
Honourable members, this bill is now at committee stage. Allow me to request the Honourable Chairperson for the Education Committee to chair the committee stage. Honourable Chair for Education Committee, you have the floor.
Honourable members, Welcome to the committee stage of Bill number 12 of 2026, Microfinance Amendment. I wish to inform you that so far the chair has not received any notice of our proposed amendment on the bill. If no one wishes to speak, I now put a question, and the question is that clause 1 to 2 stand part of the bill. Those of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honorable members, this marks the end of the committee stage of Bill number 12 of 2026 Microfinance Amendment. I thank you for your active participation.
Item 3B, government business, bills, report stage, Bill number 12 of 2026, Microfinance Amendment.
Thank you, Honour Minister, for a report.
Mr. Federal Speaker, I beg to report that Bill number 12 of 2026, Microfinance Amendment, has passed through report committee stage without amendments. I therefore beg to move that Bill number 12 of 2026, Microfinance Amendment, be read a third time.
Thank you. Honour members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is that Bill number 12 of 2026, Microfinance Amendment, be read a third time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
Item 3B, government business, bills, third reading, Bill number 12 of 2026, Microfinance Amendment.
Honour Minister, for third reading when? Minister, third reading when?
Mr. Third Deputy Speaker, today and now. I therefore beg to move, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, that the bill number 12 be read for a third time and passed. I beg to move.
Thank you very much. Honour members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is that Bill number 12 of 2026, Microfinance Amendment, be read a third time and pass. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried, and the bill has passed.
Item 3B, government business, bills, first reading, Bill number 13 of 2026, financial cooperatives amendment.
Honour members, I have noted of the demands for a healthy break. I would like to say there will be no healthy break this afternoon as we will be tackling these bills. And those that feel healthy break, please pop out and come back as we continue. But let's not lose our spokespersons because we need you in the House for these bills. Honorable Minister of Finance, the bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives Amendment, has satisfied the 7-day notice, but has not satisfied the 28-day notice. I know you have reported to the Speaker, and the Speaker has approved for you to table this, but according to our own rules, we want you to waive and explain to this House why you would like to present the bill today. Honourable Minister of Finance.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that all the relevant standing orders be waived to allow me to present Bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives Amendment. This bill, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, has met the 7-day minimum number of days, but has not satisfied the 28 days. I therefore want to request that the standing orders be waived to allow me to present this important bill, which is very important in terms of bringing stability and to ensure that there is uniformity in the handling or the treatment of unclaimed funds. I beg to move.
Honour members, there's a motion on the floor. The motion is to waive the 28-day notice for the Honourable Minister to be allowed to present the bill. Those of that opinion to present the bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives Amendment. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Honourable Minister, second reading when?
Mr. Deputy Speaker, today and now.
Honourable members, I therefore put a question. The question as requested by the Honourable Minister of Finance is for this House to allow the presentation of Bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives Amendment, to be presented today and now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried.
Item 3B, government business, bills, second reading, Bill number 13 of 2026, financial cooperatives amendment.
Thank you, Honourable Minister, for the second reading speech.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the Financial Cooperatives Amendment Bill 2026 now be read for the second time. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill amends the Financial Cooperative Act, Chapter 46, Section 10 of the laws of Malawi, to provide for the administration of unclaimed money held by SACCOs in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act 2022. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this bill is part of the wider package of amendments that this House has been considering, aimed at bringing consistency and uniformity on how unclaimed monies are administered across the Malawi's financial sector. With regard to rationale, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the Financial Cooperative Act currently provides no regulatory guidance or framework on how unclaimed monies held by SACCOs should be treated. This bill fills that gap by bringing such funds under the Public Finance Management Act 2022. In so doing, this bill ensures that the SACCO institutions or sector is governed by the same standard being applied across the rest of the financial sector. The content of the bill. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill in Section 2 amends Section 63 of the Financial Cooperatives Act by inserting a new Section 63A that requires the SACCO to administer any unclaimed money held by it in accordance with Public Finance Management Act 2022. And it adopts the definition of unclaimed money as assigned under the Public Finance Management Act. Impact. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this bill closes the gap in the Financial Cooperatives Act by ensuring that unclaimed funds held by SACCO, like all other unclaimed funds in the financial sector, are administered as provided for in the Public Finance Management Act. Together with its companion bills, it advances the uniform, transparent, and accountable framework for unclaimed monies across the financial sector. In conclusion, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this bill draws the SACCO sector into the same standard that this House has been applying to unclaimed monies across the financial sector. This will ensure that no part of the sector remains outside a clear and accountable framework. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I therefore beg the honourable members of this August House to support the bill. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you. Thank you. Honour members, pursuant to our own standing orders 128, I now recognize the spokespersons of political parties. I recognize the honour member for Pilanjuzi, representing the Malawi Congress Party. Honour member, you have the floor. Oh, apologies, honour member, I forgot to address you as a shadow minister of Finance and Economic Development. Honour member, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. Of course, shadow Minister of Finance without that wonderful briefcase. But thank you for the kind compliment. Yes, on behalf of the My Congress Party, we want to respond to this bill, ably presented by the Honorable Minister of Finance, and we thank the leadership for granting us this platform. And I speak even on behalf of the colleagues this side, most of whom have gone to the canteen to grab a cup of tea, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill before us is quite brief, just like the other bills we have already passed. It seeks to amend the Financial Cooperatives Act in order to provide for the administration of unclaimed money held by savings and credit cooperative societies, otherwise known as SACCOs, in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act. SACCOs, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, are quite unique because rarely would you have members that are not known to the group, because SACCOs are closely knit. Usually members are homogeneous, probably from the same workplace or same locality. We would have a SACCO here at Parliament. We have seen SACCOs, Area 30 for police officers, KB, you know. These are quite homogeneous. They know each other. The KYC, know your customer test, is always passed because these members are closely related. So I think it's very rare that would have a scenario where you know, a member of the SACCO is not traced, but nevertheless, it's too important that we have a law in place that covers the scenario in the unlikely event. And of course, that event would really be unlikely. But in the unlikely event that we would have some untraced funds, untraced money, we can't trace the member, it's important that we still cover the circles so that there is that harmonization, uniformity, as you have done with other bills in the financial sector when it comes to treatment of unclaimed funds. So without further ado, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, we fully support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Traditions of this day have always required us to recognize another spokesperson in the opposition. If not, we will recognize the honourable member for Mulanje West, representing the UTM.
Thank you so much, the Right Honourable First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing Mulanje West to stand on behalf of UTM to support this bill. Indeed, this is a very important bill, as like the same as the rest of the bills which have been passing in this House today or the rest of the week, that we need to put in place and ensure the consistency in the treatment of unclaimed funds across the financial sector. This is also going to promote the efficiency and also accountable management of such funds. Indeed, SACCO, they know each other, but like the SACCO in teaching, some of them might not know what is happening with their spouses and fathers and whatever. So for the accountability of this unclaimed money by teachers as one of them, it's important that government should take charge and responsibility of making sure that we need to have, we need to ensure the consistency in the treatment of unclaimed funds across the financial sector. Having said this, the benefit of savings, especially in the other sectors, it's also important that we need to look into that as well as in the sector of teaching services. That those who are, a number of them are for the rural areas, and if you're not going to be managed by government, then you are going to have problems inside. So I stand to support this bill. It's very important that those who are also in the rural areas, especially teachers, their partners or their spouses who doesn't know what is happening, the government is going to support them in the accountability of the management of this fund, i.e. SACCO and the teaching services. Thanks so much, the Right Honourable First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Honour members, we have also received a report from the chairperson of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Budget and Finance and Legal Affairs Committees of this House. Chairperson, Lilongwe Msonzi, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Right Honourable Deputy Speaker. And I rise on behalf of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and the Budget and Finance Committee to move that this House adopts the report of the Committee on Bill number 13 of 2026, the Financial Cooperatives Amendment. Right Honourable Deputy Speaker, allow me at the outset to place on record my sincere appreciation to those who contributed to this important work, my co-chairperson and members of both committees approached this assignment with diligence, commitment, and a shared sense of responsibility. They started work in the morning and they worked until in the evening without any misgivings. We also benefited from the invariable submission from the Minister of Finance and the Reserve Bank, whose technical expertise greatly enriched our deliberations. I further wish to commend the Clerk of Parliament, the Committee Secretariat, whose professionalism ensured that this process was conducted effectively and thoroughly. Right Honourable First Deputy Speaker, sir, at first glance, this bill may appear to deal with a minor and narrow technical issue. However, as the committee discovered, it addresses a matter that goes to the very heart of accountability, consistency, and public confidence in our financial system. The bill seeks to amend the Financial Cooperatives Act of 2011 so that the management of unclaimed funds held by SACCOs is aligned with the provisions of the Public Finance Management Act. Right Honourable Deputy Speaker, SACCOs are not abstract institutions. They are the backbone of financial inclusion for many of our people. They represent the corrective effort of ordinary Malawians, farmers, teachers, small business owners, who come together to save, to borrow, and to support one another. They are built on trust, and it is precisely because they are built on trust that the way they handle members' funds must also be beyond question. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, in its scrutiny of this bill, the Joint Committee undertook a detailed and careful review of the existing law. What we found is that while the current Act contains provisions touching on unclaimed funds, those provisions are fragmented and limited in scope. For example, one provision addresses funds that have remained dormant for a specific period. Another deals with residual balances when a circle is wound up, and yet another relates to claims under the Deposit Guarantee Fund. Each of these provisions addresses a particular circumstance, but none provides a comprehensive and consistent framework for dealing with unclaimed funds as a whole. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, the fragmentation has over time created uncertainty. It leaves room for differing interpretations, inconsistent practices, and potential gaps in accountability. In a sector that depends so heavily on public trust, such uncertainty is not desirable. It is exactly this gap that the bill seeks to address. And by introducing a new section 63A into the Act, the bill provides that SACCOs shall administer any unclaimed funds in accordance with the 2022 PFMA. Right Honorable Speaker, this may appear to be a simple provision, but its effect is far-reaching. It replaces a patchwork of rules with a single, clear, and predictable framework, and it ensures that SACCOs are subject to the same standards that apply to other financial institutions. And in doing so, it strengthens coherence across our financial sector. And allow me, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, to also touch on a few recommendations. The first one, similar to the previous ones, is that the Ministry of Finance and the Reserve Bank of Malawi should develop a clear and practical implementation guideline. There must also be deliberate and sustained efforts to sensitize the stakeholders. And thirdly, the RBM must ensure that adequate safeguards are put in place to protect the interests of SACCO members. And in conclusion, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, as we consider this bill, we must also reflect on the broader message it sends. It signals this House's commitment, as a whole House, to ensure that the financial sector operates under clear, fair, and transparent rules. It demonstrates our resolve to protect the interests of citizens while strengthening the institutions that serve them. Let me reiterate that if the proposed amendments and the committee's recommendations are implemented with care, this bill will enhance confidence in the SACCOs and in the financial systems as a whole. On this basis, I beg to move that this House adopts the report on the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and the Budget and Finance Committee, and I beg to move, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Honorable members, I therefore recognize the people of Rumpi East. Is this for the secondment? Thank you, Madam. You have the floor, Madam.
Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, I rise to second the motion so ably moved by the Honorable Chairperson to adopt the report of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget Finance on Bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives Amendment. Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, I will not repeat the issues articulated by my chairperson, but rather offer a few additional reflections, particularly from the perspective of public finance management and the need for certainty in our legal framework. Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, if members have read the report and paid attention to the speech made by my chairperson, they will notice that at the center of this bill is a simple but important principle that funds belonging to citizens, even when unclaimed, must be governed by a clear, consistent, and accountable system. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, your committee observed that the absence of such a framework has over time created uncertainty in the administration of unclaimed funds within the circles. This uncertainty is not merely technical, it has real implications. It affects how institutions are supervised, how funds are accounted for, and ultimately how much confidence the public can place in the financial system. Therefore, by aligning the treatment of unclaimed funds with the Public Finance Management Act, this bill provides a single, coherent standard that strengthens both oversight and transparency. Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, allow me to emphasize another critical point. It is the belief of the committee that the success of this reform will depend not only on the law itself, but on how it is implemented. Your committee was clear, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, that implementation must be supported by clear guidelines and effective sensitization. SACCOs, particularly those operating in rural areas, must understand what is expected of them, and members must be assured that their rights remain protected. Your committee also believes that the reform or transition does not inadvertently disadvantage those whose funds remain unclaimed. The law must not only be efficient, it must also be fair. Mechanisms must therefore be in place to ensure that rightful owners can access their funds when they come forward. Finally, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, after its thorough examination of the bill and its recommendations, your committee believes that the bill closes a genuine gap in our legal framework and strengthens accountability and protect the interest of the public. With these few remarks, First Honorable Deputy First Speaker, I therefore beg to second the motion and urge this Honorable House to adopt the report. I thank you, Honorable First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Deputy Leader. Deputy Leader. For the curtailment, silence is golden.
Thank you very much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Before I move a motion, I would want to encourage the Minister of Finance to cast the net wider to other areas as well. We have the legal profession that also holds money on trust. That money, we call it client money. What happens when that money is not claimed? We must also extend to that profession. Similarly to accountants, accountants also keep money on trust. What happens when that money cannot be claimed? So we must go beyond the sectors that we have tackled today. Having said that, let me now move a motion that, because it looks like there is consensus, that we curtail debate to allow the chairperson to wind up. I beg to move. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honour members, there's a motion on the floor. The motion is to request this House for the curtailment of debate on the report by the chairperson of the Joint Parliamentary Committees on Bill number 13 of 2026 Financial Cooperatives Amendment. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honour members, we now go to the general debate of the bill. I did see the honourable member for Rumpi West, Rumpi Central. I saw you switching a microphone for the debate on the bill.
Thank you, Chair. I was very pleased with what the Deputy Leader of the House said, and that the net must be cast wider. And I wanted to add the mobile money. There is also a low-claimed money is there on the list that he had there. Thank you.
Thank you. Mobile money, there's also unclaimed money there. The people from Zimbabwe West would like to add to that list. Honour member, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker. Firstly, let me acknowledge that I exactly was rising to add weight on what the Deputy Leader mentioned and to exactly state the unclaimed monies in the mobile money market. Secondly, First Deputy Speaker, I want to acknowledge that SACCOs and financial cooperatives, their own category of financial institutions. These are user owners. The very people who own the shares are the same people who are, in many cases, managing the finances. And it's very easy to abuse their power and authority, especially where there is a case of one being deceased and then they did not properly update their next of kin records. This requirement being introduced in the bill is rather very protective of these vulnerable communities. I'm speaking on behalf of the rural workers, such as the farmers and the teachers who are saving their monies with these cooperatives. First Deputy Speaker, I would like to say, like I said before, this helps to stop the erosion of their hard-earned money saved in these institutions. That's number one. But also secondly, as stated, there is a high risk of insider fraud because of the same nature of the institutions. Therefore, introducing this bill comes at no better time than this. Therefore, the people of Mzimba West would fully support the bill, as the other members have highlighted. Also, First Deputy Speaker, maybe you might wish to recall that this bill is coming at a time when just some weeks ago, the Registrar of Financial Institutions has wound up a financial institution of that nature. I think Tipindule Sacco or something. I'm wondering what is the case as we speak today of those funds. It would have been much better, I think, if it was getting wound up in the era when this has been enacted. I so submit, First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honour Member. I see the Deputy Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. I think it is a consensus that we wind up, we curtail debate, isn't it? Honourable members, is it a consensus that we curtail debate? Therefore, I beg to move that we curtail debate to allow the Honourable Minister wind up. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honour members. We have a motion on the floor. We are being requested for the curtailment of debate for the Honourable Minister to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honourable Minister, to wind up.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, for giving me the opportunity for me to wind up. But before I do that, allow me to thank honourable members of the August House for the support that they have given to the bills that have been presented in this August House so far. I want to say through you that we don't take it for granted because of the support, and the Minister of Finance, the Reserve Bank of Malawi, I think recognizes this support. Let me also now go to the specific comments made. And overall, the entire August House, as the Deputy Leader said, supports this bill. That also applies to the spokesperson from my Congress Party, who supports this bill because it harmonizes the treatment of unclaimed money with the cooperatives or the SACCOs. The same with UTM. They also support this bill because it brings transparency and accountability in the treatment of unclaimed money in line with the Public Finance Management Act. The chair of the Joint Committee of Budget and Finance and Legal Affairs also supports this bill because though it may seem small as it is, but it has a wider ramification or implication in terms of treatment of unclaimed money. He reiterated the point that this bill is very important because it creates uniformity, transparency, and accountability. Because in this bill, Section 63A, that requires that SACCO to administer any unclaimed monies held by the cooperatives or SACCOs in accordance with Public Finance Management Act. He also says this bill protects the interest of SACCOs, both in rural areas or in cities, and also to provide the confidence not only in SACCO, the sector, but as well in the entire financial sector. For Rumpi, also reiterated the point raised by the chair that this bill is important. Though simple, but this amendment has a far-reaching consequence or ramifications in terms of the management or treatment of unclaimed money. She confirmed or reiterated the point that this creates certainty and provides confidence in the SACCO and financial sector. And more importantly, it protects the members of SACCOs in rural areas. And therefore, the seconder also supports the bill. There's also an important point that have been raised, first by the Deputy Leader of the House, and also the member for Rumpi West, who says that I think we need to cast the net wider and include the accountants, the lawyers, and also the mobile money, because they also do have unclaimed funds. So I entirely agree with that. I'm sure it means that we need to go back and also look at which pieces of legislation that needs to be amended. With those, and I think the last one was also a comment from Zimbabwe West, who also reiterated the point that this bill is very important. It protects the members of the SACCOs in rural areas. And also, it minimizes or deters insider trading and also avoid abuse of unclaimed funds in SACCOs. So, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the entire House and all the sides of the aisle, they support this bill. And therefore, I beg to move that this bill be read for a third time. No, for a second time. Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is requesting this House that Bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives Amendment, be read a second time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Table.
Item 3B, government business, bills, committee stage, Bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives Amendment.
Thank you. Honour members, the bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives Amendment, is now at committee stage. Allow me to recognize the chairperson for the Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture and Food Security to come and chair the committee. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Honourable members, welcome to the committee stage of Bill number 13, Financial Cooperatives Amendment Bill. I wish to inform you that so far the Chair has not received any notice of proposed amendments on this bill. If no one wishes to speak, I now put a question. The question is that clause 1 to 2 stand part of this bill. Those of the opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Honorable members, this marks the end of the committee stage of Bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives Amendment. Thank you for your active participation.
Item 3B, government business, bills, report stage, Bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives Amendment.
Honorable Minister to report.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. I beg to report that Bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives Amendment, passed through committee stage without any amendments. I therefore beg to move that Bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives, be read a third time. Thank you.
Thank you, honourable members. We have a motion on the floor. The motion is to allow that Bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives Amendment, be read a third time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
Item 3B, Government Business, Bills, third reading, Bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives Amendment.
Honorable Minister of Finance and Decentralization, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. I beg to move that Bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperative Amendment, be read for the third time and passed. I beg to move.
Honour members, I now put the question that Bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives Amendment, be read a third time and passed. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the bill has passed. Honour members, according to the instructions and the time, the way it is, that was the last piece of legislation for today. But before I recognize the leader, I would like to thank you, honour members, more specific, the honour Minister of Finance, the chairperson of the Joint Parliamentary Committee for the job well done. It was not as easy to present all those reports in a single day. And indeed, chairpersons of parliamentary committees for coming in to chair the Committee of Supply. It has been a good day, a really good day. Bills are not a small business. You sit in here and you really have to take some extra energy. The spokespersons of political parties, you've done us pride, and we're very happy with the take on the floor of the House. If parliamentary business was this exciting and business finishing the way it has finished, then Parliament would have been a better place to live in the world. But there are times Parliament can be hot. That's why it is called Parliament. There are times we finish the way we are finishing. That's why it is called Legislative House and a dialogue table. Indeed, it is an August House. Leader, for the business tomorrow.
A very exciting day indeed, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, and from the leadership, we are delighted. And I just join you in thanking the Minister of Finance, ably assisted by Chairperson of the Budget and Finance Committee, and all chairs of various committees that have taken part in ensuring that these pieces of legislation are passed. I would like to extend a vote of thanks to all of you. And then finally, the entire House for ensuring that this job has been done and done well. We will meet tomorrow to continue with the bills. Tomorrow we will do 3, I hope. And then all else being equal, we should be able to finish on Thursday. That said, Mr. Speaker, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, that is how I would like to guide. Once again, thank you very much and have a good evening. God bless.
Thank you very much, Leader. Before adjourning, I have some announcements to make. The chairperson of the Committee on Lands, Transport and Public Infrastructure was proposing a meeting with his committee members. I hope they know in the members' lounge. So that committee will be meeting in the members' lounge if they didn't meet already. The Honorable Chairperson of the Social and Community Affairs is planning a meeting in room 255. And these meetings were supposed to happen during the half break, but you know we didn't have that arrangement. So if they are still valid, let's go meet. The next announcement is coming from the people of Nkatabe Mpamba constituency. Nkatabe Mpamba has brought us visitors in the visitors gallery. These are the visitors are a family of late Orton Edgar Chingoli Chirwa, and they are Dr. Zingani Chingoli Chirwa, last born son to the late Orton Chirwa. The second one is Mrs. Lucy Chingoli Chirwa. Chingoli Chirwa. She's a daughter. The third one is Chimwemwe Kanjo. Chimwemwe Kanjo is a grandson in the family. Number 4 is Zinai Kanjo. Zinai Kanjo is a granddaughter. And they are visiting Parliament to appreciate the discussion courtesy from the Honorable Member for Nkatabe Mpamba. May I request our visiting delegation from Nkatabe Mpamba, led by Dr. Zengan Chingoli Chirwa, to stand. If you are still in the gallery, please stand so we can appreciate you. Unfortunately, they are gone, but we would like to recognize them if they are listening. Their visit is an important visit, and we are happy with that visit. Right Honorable Speaker welcomes you to Parliament. I was being reminded, but I didn't hear what everyone else was saying, to say they should come and collect their political party. I don't know which political party is their own, but I didn't hear everything that was being said, and I cannot reflect, and I cannot be judged on those remarks. Honorable Leader, you might need to move, although we had sacrificed our health break.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the House do adjourn now, a bit early, and we meet tomorrow. I beg to move.
Thank you, Leader. Honourable members, there's a motion for an early adjournment with the 5 minutes area for us to adjourn before time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. I see this, the ayes have it, the motion is carried. I see there's a member from Kota Lualas on. Why are you pressing your microphone, Honourable Member? Please make it so brief because we have already moved the motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, for granting the people of Korodalwalazi a point of order. Through you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I would like to communicate to the Parliamentary Youth Caucus that we may be meeting tomorrow at tea break in the afternoon. I submit. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member, for choosing that the people from Kota Lualas should recognize you are in the House. We appreciate those later moments, although you were not allowed to be making those announcements it is the duty of the presiding officer. So next time you have such a communication, please communicate through the table. It comes to my office. I know the honorable member for Machinga Mikoko and the honorable member for Lilongwe Bwaira no, Lilongwe Bwaira has been sorted on committees, but Machinga Mikoko, are you in the house? Yes. Honorable member, you be notified today on which committees of this house you be belonging. The office of the Right Honorable Speaker, Samuel Gafar Suleiman, will communicate to you today on which committees of this house you be going to, because you fall under the jurisdiction of the Right Honorable Speaker for committee allocation. Good to see you in the house, Honorable member. Thank you. Honour members, it is 16:55. I therefore Honour members, I therefore adjourn proceedings to tomorrow, Wednesday, the 5th of August, 2026 at 2 p.m. House adjourned.
Well, Parliament concluding its business for today, Tuesday, the 4th of August 2026. A summary of proceedings on the floor. Parliament has today passed 5 bills as follows. Bill number 9 of 2026, the Banking Amendment. The bill seeks to amend the Banking Act in order to provide more options for dealing with failing banks and enhance the legal framework for early intervention and resolution of banks. The current legal framework for early intervention and resolution of banks is inadequate and requires significant reforms to align it with best practices. Bill number 10 of 2026, Financial Services Amendment. The bill seeks to amend the Financial Services Act in order to provide for the administration of unclaimed funds remaining after the compulsory winding up of a prudentially regulated financial institution. Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment. The bill seeks to amend the Securities Act in order to provide for the administration of unclaimed money held by persons licensed to conduct business under the Act. Bill number 12 of 2026, Microfinance Amendment. The bill seeks to amend the Microfinance Act in order to provide for the administration of unclaimed money held by microfinance institutions. And finally, Bill number 13 of 2026, Financial Cooperatives Amendment. The bill seeks to amend the Financial Cooperatives Act in order to provide for the administration of unclaimed money held by savings and credit cooperative societies, SACCOs. All bills were passed following the adoption of reports by the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget, which had considered and scrutinized them. At the moment, the First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Victor Musowa MP, has adjourned the House until tomorrow, Wednesday, 5 August 2026 at 2 p.m. Mmene munthu momwe zayendera zokambirana za phungu lero lachiwiri pa 4 August 2026 ndipo nyumba ya malamulo yakambirana ndi kuvomereza mabilu asanu. Mabiluwa ndi bilu number 9 ya 2026 Banking Amendment. Bilu iyi kufuna kukonza lamulo la mabanki kuti pakhale njira zambiri zothandizira mabanki omwe asakuchita bwino pa ntchito. Cholinga chinanso nchakuti bilu iyi kufuna kulimbikitsa malamulo okhudza kuzindikira msanga mavuto omwe mabanki amakumana nawo. Bilu number 10 ya 2026 Financial Services Amendment. Bilu imeneyi ikufuna kukonza lamulo la ntchito za ndalama kuti pakhale njira yabwino kuti ngati kampani yomwe ikusunga ndalama zomwe eni yake sanazitenge ndipo yatsekedwa padzipezekabe njira yoti eni yake athe kutenga ndalama zawo. Bill number 11 ya 2026 Securities Amendment. Bilu iyi kufuna kuti pakhale njira yoyendetsera ndalama zosatengedwa ndi eni yake zomwe zimasungidwa ndi anthu omwe ali ndi chilolezo chochita business motsatira lamuloli. Bill number 12 ya 2026 Microfinance Amendment. Bilu imeneyi kufuna kukhazikitsa dongosolo pa ndalama zosatengedwa ndi eni yake zomwe zili m'manja mwa mabungwe obwereketsa ngongole zing'ono-zing'ono amene wa microfinance institutions. Ndipo pomaliza penipeni nyumba yavomereza Bill number 13 ya 2026 Financial Cooperatives Amendment. Bilu imeneyi kufuna kukonza lamulo la mabungwe othandizana pa nkhani za chuma kuti pakhale dongosolo pa ndalama zomwe sizinatengedwe ndi aini yake zomwe zili m'manja mwa mabungwe a SACCO. Nyumba yavomereza mabilu wakutsatira malipoti a komiti yoona za malamulo pamodzi ndi komiti yoona za budget atatha kuwaunika. Pakadali pano achiwiri oyamba kwa Speaker nyumba ya malamulo olemekezeka a Victor Musowa MP ayimitsa zokambirana kufikira mawa lachitatu pa 5 August 2026 nthawi ya 2 koloko masana. Malo mwanzanga onse kuno ku Parliament Broadcasting ndithokoze kuti munali pamenepo kutsatira zonse. Ine dzina langa ndi Rachel Gonani.